Human rights is thoroughly listed and explained in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that was adopted and proclaimed by the General Assembly resolution on 10 December 1948 covers a great area of individual and group rights. This video will cover the rights of minority group. In this case, although it is an issue that is not often talked about, the rights of Melanesian blackbirding descendants of Fiji. Blackbirding, as explained by Britannica, was the 19th and early 20th century practice of enslaving, often by force or deception, South Pacific Islanders on the cotton and sugar plantation. Today, there are close to 30 Melanesian settlements around Fiji, including Newtown, Namara, Thombati, Viraisi, Tamawiwai, Monikoso, Tadirua, Wainaloka, Bamba, to name a few. These Melanesian blackbirding descendants in Fiji, in all genders and age, have their rights continuously violated through racism, the rights of life, liberty, and security, as in the Article 3 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and Article 15, that everyone has the right to nationality. Ali Kimbia, a direct descendant of the Melanesian blackbirding, who is a member of parliament, as both an advocate and victim of the violation, tells his story on their history and his advocacy on the issue.
My name is Ali Kimbia. I'm 34 years old. I am married with 3 kids. I'm a direct Melanesian descendant, which I am proud and happy to call Fiji as my home also. And I'm currently a member of parliament in Fiji. First of all, it's a privilege and an honor for me to have this opportunity and this space to share my story as a descendant of Blackbirders and of Melanesian people that are in Fiji. You might have heard of my stories on various social media platforms and my maiden speech in Parliament. But I'm very honored again to be given this opportunity to share my story to you all. Firstly, I'm so proud, as I've mentioned already, to be direct descendants for the first time ever after 160 years of our existence, arriving in Fiji in the late 1880s, 1800s rather. I'm so proud that I was the first ever direct descendant to ever confirm a seat in the Parliament of Fiji, and I think the opportunity that was given to me and a chance to be the voice for my people. According to the stories that was passed down to us from our forefathers, the first place that they arrived, they were brought in from various parts of Vanuatu and from the Solomon Islands. They were brought in, and the first part of Fiji that they arrived in was in the old capital in Levuka. That's where they work before they were dispersed around Fiji, where some of them worked in estate farms in Tabiwani and in Savusavu, while some of them were distributed again to various parts of Itilevu, where they construct roads and bridges, and to assist in the economic development, infrastructure development for our country, for Fiji as well, coming to this modern day and age. And from what we have heard from the various places that they were living in, they were dispersed around the country, and this was evident in the close to 40 communities that we are currently in Fiji at the moment. There's close to 40 Melanesian communities that are dispersed around in Fiji. And according to our forefathers and our grandparents, they said that they had to toil hard day and night. At times they will not be given the rest on the weekend, on Sunday. because there was no contract given to them, and all they had to do was to work every day to try and improve the economy of Fiji, or the infrastructural growth that was there at that time. Some of them even lost their lives in terms of building roads and trying to develop Suva into a town and into a city. And most of the stories that we have heard, at times it brings tears to our eyes, because that's one of the motivation for me, to try and be the voice for our Melanesian people. For so long, we have been crying to be represented in the Parliament of Fiji, and I thank God for His provisions in my life that allowed and give me that opportunity to be the first ever direct descendant to ever confirm a seat in the Parliament of Fiji. And issues we face every day, sometimes we call ourselves as the landless people. In the 40 communities, Melanesian communities that are dispersed around Fiji, none of that communities have not been given the landless people. In the 40 communities, Melanesian communities that are dispersed around Fiji, none of that communities have not been given full ownership of the land that they stayed in. We are still considered as informal dwellers. We live in informal settlements, and at times we do meet, or even as our family members, we do sit at home and we ask, is this a way in which the government of Fiji repay us with what our forefathers have done to this country? And sometimes we even shed tears, because every day when we sleep, sometimes what lingers in our memory is the question of whether we will live through another day, or whether we will still be there in the settlements, in the communities that we are in, because of the insecurities that are there, because the land does not belong to us. This is one of the main motivating factors for me, and my motivation to be the voice of the Melanesian people. And there's also an issue, in regards to people. Some people still discriminate us, and sometimes use the word Kaisolomoni as a racial slur to label us because of our Blackbirding background. And we do appreciate people who accept us as who we are, but this is a continued struggle, because it takes hard work, it takes a long process to try and change the perspectives of people of how they looked at a person, irrespective of their ethnicity, race, or gender. And for us Melanesian people, this has been our continuous cry. And with the opportunity given, and I thank God for giving me the provisions in my life to be a person that will be our voice in Parliament, and this will be our fight that will continue to try and fight for land security and also housing. And majority of our Melanesian people, they live in poverty. Not only Itoke, not only other minority races, but majority of us do live in poverty as well, because there's a lot of factors that do contribute to how the people live in poverty. And one of the major contribution, I guess, is the insecurity of land. And there's an issue that I also want to share. Sometimes there's always tears when people do go to FNPF to apply for their fund to try and develop or further extend their house or even improve their living conditions, but to be told that the land they're living in is not theirs and they cannot apply for their funds. No, it's always a heartbreak. And that is the struggle that we have every day, and we will continue to fight for recognition. Sometimes we are disheartened because there's so much focus on some of the other races, but government continue to fail to recognize what our forefathers have done. We do celebrate their achievements silently. We have Melanesian Day that we do celebrate silently, but all we are asking is for recognition from government. Maybe a special day to be set aside to celebrate the Melanesian people and what their forefathers have done in contributing to the development for this country economically and also the infrastructure of this country. And we, as I've said, it is always our dream. We love Fiji, and also this time I would like to thank the chiefs of the 14 provinces of this country, every Vanua and every Abusa, for accepting us. We are proud to call Fiji our home, and we thank the various chiefs in Fiji that have the 14 provinces of this country, every Vanua and every Abusa, for accepting us. We are proud to call Fiji our home, and we thank the various chiefs in Fiji that have given their land for us to stay in, and we do thank them for that. We are proud to call Fiji our home, but as we continue to stay, there are fears that we also have every day, like I've already explained, in terms of land security, housing, and other benefit that we try to be shared equally amongst us. But after all, we are happy, and we are always proud to say that we are direct descendant of Blackbirders that came in Fiji, because we are proud of what our forefathers have done to this country and contribute to Fiji as well. That is my story, and I hope that I've shed some light of us Melanesians and our existence in Fiji. Now, God bless.